had many mental breakdowns. It was like my life flashed before my eyes. Self-confidence has been in the toilet. Okay, I think I am finally ready to get myself out of the rut I've been in since September. I am finally ready to tell the whole story of why and what happened to me. This kombucha is gonna help us get through. We need a clear mind for this. Since this story has a good bit to do with makeup, I thought we could do our makeup together while I tell you the story today. I've not sat down and done my makeup like this for a really long time, so this feels really weird. I feel really out of practice. I can't believe what happened. It's just crazy. I'm really sorry I have not been posting as much as I would like to. I want to get that changed. We have to go all the way back to September. That is when this all started. I don't know if you guys remember me telling you back around that time that I quit my serving job. So that was when I got the job working for an estate sale company. By the way, this cream blush by Persona, every time I do my makeup, I use this now. Hi, Flower. This is my favorite part of my makeup when it looks like this. I feel like a little clown or something. Started working for the estate sale and liquidation company, and I was having so much fun. Me and my BFF Jill, I feel like you saw her going to the same thrift store every day for a week series. We got hired together, and it's been so much fun getting to work with her. I have to contour my chin because I'll get to the point of why my double chin was like getting out of control. An estate sale is basically like when somebody needs to liquidate their estate or assets and possessions. We go in, we organize everything in the house, price it, and then run a sale to liquidate all the assets and make money for the family and then for our company. What we were doing was helping with that. Got a new e.l.f. Halo Glow because mine was getting old and gross. I posted a video in September. It was a Goodwill shop with me video. Wow, look how clean that is. It'll never look like that again. That was the day that I noticed something was wrong with my left under eye. I was doing my makeup that day and it was like swollen and red and almost like my skin was like flaking under this under eye right here. I remember thinking that's weird, but I had like planned to go film a shop with me at Goodwill and I was like a little nervous to do it, but I was so determined to do it. That was the day I noticed the flaking under my eye. Oh my god, my bangs are being crazy. I had just quit my job serving and I was so excited. I'm gonna become a reseller. I'm gonna like focus on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna do the estate sales. I just had like a whole new zest for life. I'm gonna conquer the world. The rash continued to get worse. I think it was like the next weekend. James and I went to the Swiss Festival in Sugar Creek. We go to it every year. It's the town where we're from and we love to go. It's always like one of our favorite things to do together. When I tell you I was suffering that day at the Swiss Festival, my eye was like all swollen. I was miserable. Not only was it itchy, it burned. Burning under my eye, and it was like this big patch almost like here that was like all flaking and my skin would get dark and then it would burn and then it would peel and it was just like a whole thing. I remember like watching the parade and my eye was like so itchy. Felt like something was in my eye the whole time, and I remember just like not really enjoying the festival. It kept getting worse and I kept like having to go to work too, so I was like going to do these sales and I wanted to wear makeup because my under eye looked so bad. And I remember the first sale I did, the whole time my eye was just like burning. Okay, what is going on? Am I having an allergic reaction to something? Did I change a product? Is it the stress of quitting my job? I was taking a financial hit and I knew that I wasn't going to be making as much money. So I was stressed out because I wasn't exactly even sure like how much I would be working for this new job, like what was going on, but I was like, I just have to get out, take a risk. I had stopped eating all day dairy for like 6 months before this because my sinuses were getting so bad. I was like having a sinus infection all the time. So I had quit all dairy. Started eating dairy again because it was James's birthday. I can't do this anymore. I made like a tuna casserole for his birthday, and that's when I like started eating dairy again. Hello, it is me editing this video, and I'm realizing that I left some things out. So just wanted to mention here that James's birthday was about like a week before the rash appeared. Am I having an allergic reaction to the dairy? I was like Googling that, and it was like it can cause skin problems. I was getting so miserable that through my insurance, it's almost like a teledoc, but I called a doctor online for a video call. He diagnosed me with contact dermatitis. It can be caused by literally anything. It's just like a reaction on your skin. I need to mention here that the doctor had questioned me about if I had changed any products, and I had recently changed to a different eye cream. I ran out of the expensive one that I had been using, and I had this older one that I didn't really like, but I was like, oh, I just quit my job, I'm just gonna use this one. After I told her that, she was like, oh, obviously it's that eye cream causing it, just discontinue use on it, probably what it is. So I was like, great, it's probably the eye cream. She prescribed me a steroid cream and told me to stop wearing all makeup, simplify my skincare down to just an unscented moisturizer and cleanser, and then the steroid. So I'm like, great. I love wearing makeup. I like to feel pretty. I like to do my makeup. Like if I have to go to work, I like want to have my makeup on. The girls that get it, get it. Did all that, got through the steroid. The rash didn't go away. It was still coming back, but it was so weird because it would just come and go, and then it would just like burn. At that point, I was like doing my own research online. I was like scouring the internet and TikTok. I know you're not supposed to get information on TikTok, but I swear like you can find things out on there. I found a girl on there that was suffering from the same thing, a dermatitis, and she recommended a cream I can share. I think I went and got it at Target like that day, and that really helped when it would like flare up. It would kind of like calm down the itching. I think it was called Exoderm. Okay, it's been like a month. Steroid didn't work. My wedding is coming up in June. I want to be able to film videos for my channel. I like to wear makeup when I'm on there. Like I need to get this rash figured out. I'm so miserable. I would wake up every day and just wake up and be like, ugh, I just didn't want to live like that. Making me so depressed. It's going like on and off through November. I'm like trying to handle it with the cream. I quit all my makeup. I was using only like a moisturizer, like a simple cleanser. I stopped doing my gua sha because I couldn't put like the oils on my face that I was using for that. And then I felt like my jawline was becoming so unsnatched and bad. And I was just starting to feel ugly. It was the worst feeling. And if you're going through a skin thing, I am so sorry. It can just derail your life. So at the same time, I'm healthy, like I'm fine. I should not be complaining. It's just like a rash on my eye. Things could always be worse. But at the same time, like I was still upset and miserable. I want to say like November came and I had my wedding dress come in. My God, I want to wear makeup to go try on my dress. So I did. And then anytime I'd put makeup on, it would like irritate my eye. And it was just like a vicious cycle. So at this point, you're probably like, Shannon, why didn't you go to the dermatologist? I didn't go to the dermatologist because I quit my job and had no money. I was really like running out of money. I had spent so much money trying to get different makeup that would work better, like having to get all new moisturizer and everything. Money was just going down the drain. The weird thing was it was only under my left eye, not my right. Until about beginning of December, James and I were out Christmas shopping and we went to smell perfume at the mall. The next day, rash under my right eye. I literally thought it was finally getting better. Then it came back like worse than ever. Oh my God. I literally wanted to like jump off a bridge. Holidays are coming. Like I have to get this figured out. I'll never become a YouTuber. My self-esteem was like in the toilet. I can't wear makeup. Like I don't want to go to work. I had many mental breakdowns, too many to name, where I would just like cry. This year I didn't do a Christmas tree video. That was because of the rash. On the drive to go cut down our Christmas tree this year, well, it was technically last year, but you get the point. I was sobbing because my eyes burned so bad. And then James was like, you have to go to the dermatologist. Enough is enough. Like, I'm just gonna pay for it. Found a dermatologist. They got me in right before Christmas, which was really nice. I'm going to the dermatologist and she's like, you have contact dermatitis. I know, I have contact dermatitis. A journal of like everything you're using. It could literally be anything. It could be a plant in your house. It could be a perfume. It could be a makeup product you've been using for 10 years. Sometimes they change the ingredients and they don't tell you. And then all of a sudden you have a rash. I don't know what's causing it. You have to figure it out. And I was like, okay, well that was pretty unhelpful. Go ahead and use the steroid again. Okay, so I use the steroid again. I go through another 2 weeks, no makeup, nothing. So this is over the holidays. Around this time, I was also going through a thing where I was really trying to make vintage pins happen. I'm really wanting to bring pin wearing back into the fold of things. You remember, I had mentioned this a while ago. I was hoarding all of the jewelry from the sales that was left over. I had a big thing of jewelry that I was gonna do a go-through video with. I was like picking through that all the time. I was wearing like vintage pins all the time. I was like obsessed about pins. Cute. Told you I was gonna wear more pins and I was not lying. Just remember that because we'll come back to that. So I decided I must be allergic to dairy. I must have gave myself a dairy allergy because I quit eating it and then I just like went back to it too quick. Now if you're sitting here thinking, Shannon, this doesn't make any sense. You're right, it doesn't. But you have to understand that I had literally tried every single thing I could think of. I had stripped everything else away that I thought could be causing anything. I had experimented with every skincare, every makeup. I had stripped it all down to nothing. I had searched back through my camera roll probably 20 times looking for clues about what might have been causing this. I stopped using my dry shampoo. I stopped literally everything. So in my mind, I was like, it must be the dairy because I don't know what else is different. I quit eating all dairy right before Christmas. If you know anything about like where I'm from or where my family's from, it is like a Swiss cheese capital. Everybody eats dairy and everything. I didn't tell any of the family what was going on over Christmas because I didn't want anyone to like feel bad. Pretty much all I ate over the holidays was like ham and bread. And I was like starving on Christmas because I was like silently being like, oh, I can't eat any of this food. After Christmas, the rash came back worse than ever. It was like the worst it had been. I have to figure out what is going on so that I can move on with my life. I've Googled, I've gone to the doctor, I've done everything, and I cannot figure out what's going on. So what did I do? I got on TikTok for 4 hours. I'm not getting off the internet until I figure out what is going on. I'm getting rid of this rash. I'm not living my life like this. Enough is enough. After 4 hours, I finally came upon this video where a dermatologist was like, you might not realize what is causing your contact dermatitis is your jewelry. Now wait just a minute. The jewelry. It was like my life flashed before my eyes because I went back and I realized as soon as I quit my serving job, you can go back and watch my TikToks and videos. I did the whole jewelry box thing. I put all these jewelry boxes up. How can I fit more jewelry into my life? I started hoarding this jewelry from like the 80s and 90s. I started wearing rings again because I wasn't wearing rings when I was at my serving job. And the reason about the jewelry, it's not just any jewelry. It's if your jewelry has a nickel in it. I think I'm allergic to nickel. I had been wearing this ring on my left pointer finger. This was James's grandma's ring. It's not real diamonds, but I just think it's so pretty and it just reminds me of the 90s. And it all started when I started hoarding the jewelry boxes. I found all those jewelry boxes at James's dad's house that belonged to his grandma. And I found all these rings in there. And I had been wearing this ring on this finger that was her ring. And it was from like the 90s. I think this is it. This has to be it. I feel like my makeup's done. I'm getting to the end of the story. How do you find out if jewelry has nickel in it? Well, let me tell you, you have to order a test. Can you buy the test anywhere? No, you can only order it. It takes over a week to come in on Amazon. It's a little dropper of this liquid. You put it on a cotton swab, you swab the jewelry, and if it turns pink, that means it has nickel in it. Okay, let me spend more money on this. Order the test, pay for expedited shipping. I stopped wearing all the jewelry. Started to get better. Now here's the thing. The whole time, even if I wasn't wearing makeup, even if I wasn't doing this and that, I was still wearing all the rings. I was wearing all the pins. You should have seen me on Christmas. I was trying to make this pin thing happen. I had like a sweater with a little collar on it and I covered the whole thing in vintage pins. A hoard of nickel right by my face. It was on my finger that I was rubbing my eye with. When my eye was itchy, I was going bloop with the ring. After I saw the TikTok, I went into my bedroom and I picked up that ring that I had been wearing and I got chills, full body chills when I picked it up and I was like, this is it. If this isn't it, like I don't know where to go from here because I've literally tried everything. So I ordered the nickel test kit, stopped wearing the jewelry. It came in, I had to put on like gloves and I went through every single piece of jewelry in my entire collection. It took me like 2 hours, swabbed every single one. Lo and behold, the 2 rings I had been wearing on these fingers both tested positive for nickel. Now the thing about the nickel is, and it said this on the test, it is so tricky to find out because it can take 48 hours for a rash to appear. So I could have like rubbed my eye and the rash wouldn't have showed up for 48 hours. I was going crazy because I was like, I can't figure out what's going on. And it actually made sense too because none of the jewelry I was wearing before I started working at the estate sale tested positive because jewelry that is vintage, like 80s, 90s, used to contain a lot of nickel. And then I think it was in 1994, I'll have to look, I'll put it on the screen, they passed like a mandate in America to like stop putting so much nickel in because it's like harmful to your skin. I don't know if you remember like how rings used to always turn your finger green, that's because of the nickel. So tested all the jewelry, that was it. This was my answer. At that point though, I still had the rash, which takes like at least a week or 2 to heal. So I think I'm good. Got it all taken out and I'm like, I think this is it. Around this time is when Jill and I were filming the Thrift With Me Every Day series. I was still wearing a ring on my pinky that I didn't think to test because it was a real diamond that my mom had given me when I was little. And I was like, oh, that's gotta be sterling. I didn't test it. My rash came back again. What is going on? So I went through again and realized that I was still wearing the nickel. Finally got rid of that and the rash healed. Now, even weeks after that though, my skin was so sensitive under my eyes that every time I would like try to wear makeup, it would burn. I hadn't been able to like do my skincare for months at this point. I felt like my skin was just like not looking good. Hadn't been doing my gua sha. Self-confidence has been in the toilet. I feel like I'm like finally getting myself back. And I told James, your grandma's ring literally cursed me for months. It was right in front of my face the whole time and I couldn't see it. I gotta wear sterling and gold and diamonds and real gemstones, so not a big problem. Something else happened again. I have to be so careful because when James and I were shopping for wedding bands a few weeks ago, I got a little rash and it was because some of the rings, like the tungsten ones and the stainless steel in the wedding band, contain nickel. At this point, I was so proud of myself that I figured it out. I went to my follow-up appointment at the dermatologist and told them everything I had figured out and they were just like, wow, okay, well head on your way then. That is how I solved my mystery about the nickel. There was a week where I was just like so happy that I figured it out. I was just running around the house shouting, I'm allergic to nickel. I just want to shout it from the rooftops. Am I sad that I can't buy vintage jewelry? Yes, but it's okay. I have to be so careful though because now that I'm working on the sales, I'm so tempted by all the jewelry because if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with jewelry. So this is hard. Luckily though, most like jewelry made in like the modern day doesn't have nickel in it anymore. So even cheaper things that you would buy on Amazon and things are fine. As I'm further editing this, I realized this morning there was one more instance where I had gotten a rash. I went to a thrift store in late February and I bought this little teddy bear that you hang in the window. A couple days later, I had a rash and I tested the bear and it tested positive for nickel. It's so hard to avoid. I have to just stay away from all like old metals and things like that. Must have like rubbed my eye after I touched it or something. I'm so relieved that this is solved. It has taken me a while to like come out of the depression I was in. I just wanted to talk about for a second beauty standards around makeup. I was literally feeling like my life was gonna be over if I couldn't wear makeup anymore. I'm gonna be ugly. No one's gonna think I'm pretty. I can't show my face online. What am I gonna do at my wedding? It is kind of like a sad place that we've gotten to with makeup. Obviously, I love makeup and I love being able to do it. I'm really happy that I figured it out and I can wear makeup again. I think that I'm fixed though, finally. Mid-September, October, November, December, January, February. I was having rashes up into February, so this has been going on for at least 6 months. When I tell you I was trying everything, I was trying to do a magic spell where I was like putting my problems into a cup of water and dumping it outside on the full moon. Well, it didn't work. It was the nickel. Just be careful if you're buying like vintage jewelry, costume jewelry, things like that. It can be a skin irritant. And I had to learn a lesson the hard way. Right now, all of the jewelry that I wanted to keep that tested positive is actually locked up in Jill's apartment in a bag and I'm not allowed to touch it. She's always yelling at me at the sales. She's like, stay away from the jewelry, don't touch it. Oh, I just want to look. Hopefully that was like somewhat enjoyable to listen to. Oh my god, it was horrible. A little rash can really throw you off. Ruined my holidays. I'm so thankful that I at least got it figured out before my wedding. And I have to just be so careful that I like don't get a rash before it. Wow. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my story. I promise I will be better about posting. Finally starting to feel like myself again, and spring is coming. It just feels so good. I like also gained weight through all this because I think I was just like depressed. It's just not good. All because I wanted to wear some cheap ring from the 90s. Also just wanted to mention the irony of the fact that every time I was probably crying about my rash, I was literally wiping my tears with the ring that was causing the rash. That's great to think about. I will see you soon with another video. Make sure you subscribe before you leave. And until next time, please remember that you are special, beautiful, and magical. And I love you so much. Bye.